This is Maxine. Hello, family. Speaking on behalf of my mama and her family, and my mother's Ernestine Vickers, as all of you know, as that Ernestine. I was right there when Aunt Peg and Mother and Aunt Louvenia thought of this idea of the starting a family reunion. Sitting right there looking in there, it was the three of them and me in Big Mama's house after Big Mama's funeral in 19, February 1974, and everyone else had gone home. And they started talking about the only time the family had been getting together was for funerals, and we need to organize and start visiting and having, uh, they call it family reunions. And that came up from Aunt Peggy. She the one instituted that idea. And Mother and Aunt Louvenia went along with it. And therefore the reunion was born. Me and Nama Jean, Mother and Aunt Louvenia would go to Aunt Peggy's, and that's where we stayed for weekends several times. Everywhere Mother and Aunt Louvenia went, especially when we went down to Fort Lauderdale and Miami a lot, I would drive them. And when Kemp got married, we were right there, the three of us, with Aunt Peggy. When Kemp got sick, there were the three of us with Aunt Peggy. So we were like, I guess they consider the three musketeers, we were the four musketeers. Nama Jean and I drove them everywhere they went, even when we had reunions down on that end. So it'll be 50 years this year. So you can tell that at the reunion that, I told you this, and you can tell it. And my hearts and my thoughts are with you all. Have a great time, and I'm praying for you. Keep me in your prayers, and bless all of you. Thank you.
My name is Loretta Vickers, and I'm the daughter of Ernestine Vickers.
Mother, she worked just about her entire life, but she loved her children. And this is the reason that she did all of that hard work out there. I can remember Mother and my oldest brother, way back when, having a biscuit cook-off, and we being the judge. When you are judging something cook-wise between your mom and your sibling, naturally, Mama's going to win, right? Yeah, I think all of them was into cards, playing spades. She loved her spades, or Jerome. And this was her pass of time because, as I said, she was not mobile like she used to be, and she just stayed home all the time, which reminded me so much of Big Mama. When our siblings were in town, we all have gotten together and played cards and whatever at the table. They were so close, that family and those girls. I say siblings, we don't use girls like that anymore. They will all come into town, some of them and most of them. And they would all sleep back there in a room in Mother's house in the same bed. And I wonder how in the world did all those ladies of size fit in that bed. But they did. No, they would talk and laugh and go on. Yeah. That you would always know when they got together. That's all you will hear is a lot of laughing and carrying on.
Okay, my name is Emma Jean Vickers Deuce, and I'm the daughter of Ernestine Houston Vickers. Mother and I spent plenty of time together. Especially when I was young, I used to go to fishing all the time, 4 to 5 times a week. She come in from work, Emma Jean, go and get the pole and the baits. If we don't have any baits, get out there and dig a few of them. Mother, I don't want to go. Where you going anyway? Mother used to love to get in there sometimes. We sitting around. When we were young, we didn't have television when we were very young. We get in there and put on music. Brooke Benson was her favorite singer. Brooke Benson. She loved it, him. Yeah, we used to she taught us how to cha-cha and everything. At least me, because I always did love the dance. I still like the dance. We always had a great time. But my mom was a mom that didn't play. And everybody let you know, my mom didn't play. We was in the house before the sun went down. In the bed before the sun went down. And That was just my mom. She did not say nothing that she didn't like behind or move your behind out my way or anything like that. That's like cousin to her. So kids don't realize they got it made now. They could say things that we couldn't say. They could do things that we couldn't do. But we love them, and I'm so thankful that my mom was that way with me. Yeah, I appreciate my mom. I appreciate how strict she was with us, with me, and I really appreciate it. And I love my mom for being that strict with me. That made me the woman that I am. And I just thankful for the years that the Lord blessed us with her, who is my mom, who I miss dearly.
Hester L. Houston.
Hester Louise.
Okay, well, I say L, but that's all right. My name is Lonnie Dixon Jr. Lonnie Dixon Jr.
And I'm Janet Dixon Wright.
Tell you what now. Now, see, you get me wound up. I got a whole lot of things I could do.
All right.
My mom was born in Plant City, Florida, okay?
She was the first girl born to Otto and Butler Houston and the fourth child. She birthed 9 children.
What my mama, she could cook good, but you know what? She's from the old school, and I know from Monday to Saturday what I was gonna have every day. The menu didn't change, and that's for sure.
Really?
Monday, I know what Monday was, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and start all over again.
Okay, my mom, she liked to eat, and she enjoyed her cooking as well. I can remember as a child when it would be Christmas, Thanksgiving, how the kitchen would just be loaded from one end to the other with foods because she would cook. I didn't like everything that was cooked, but that's all right. Those chitlins and that kind of stuff I never ate, but she did used to cook them. She used to. I remember she made the best fruit cakes. She would start making it early, and she would wrap it real tight and cover it with apples before she wrapped it and put it in a dark place. And she would take it out ever so often, remove those apples and put more apples on it and push it aside. And I think she probably put a little wine on them too. My mother loved clothes. She liked to look what she called presentable. We had a post office box always downtown in the post office. Mail was not delivered to our house. And for my mom to go check the post office box, she was going to take a bath. She was going to put on what she called something decent. She was going to put on her lipstick, and she was going to comb her hair. And she was going to the post office. Although she may walk in and walk right back out and come home, that's how she went.
Yeah, I'll tell you something else. Now, I pay attention to how she dressed, how she did all that stuff. And she used to wear them old high heel shoes, Lo and behold, she started having problems, see, with her knee and all that kind of stuff. So she came from church one day, and she changed shoes. I said, "Oh, I see them drop down off them high heels." She said, "What are you doing? You got to worry about wearing?" No, yeah, I did. I said, "Okay." Came in the next Sunday, she got down some more low on them heels, I said, "I see you still change." She said, "Look, boy, you ain't my daddy here." I said, "No, ma'am, I know, but I pay attention to what's going on."
She loved to dress. She loved it. She loved dressing. She really did.
Yeah.
Always teased her siblings. Always. She was a good jokester.
And we have to pay cards on every Friday night.
Spades.
Yeah.
Trump.
You held me down to 3 minutes, see, I could go on for 30 minutes. and next month, see, I have another birthday. Lo and behold, I'll be 94 years of age, huh?
Praise the Lord.
Amazing. Praise God.
Praise
Absolutely.
the Lord. Praise the Lord.
That's a major blessing. That's amazing. I love it.
Yes.
Well, that's
all
right.
right.
Okay, this is my statement all the time. I'm not old. I just been here a long time. Don't move the trees on the leaves.
Yeah, man.
Go to bed.
All right. Love
Old
y'all,
man is
boss.
still around. That's one thing for sure.
Yes,
All
sir.
right
And
now.
keep it going.
Okay.
See,
All right.
I
All
heard
right.
that from keep it going, keep it going, keep it
Keep it
going.
going. Exactly. Ain't no time to stop.
Now
Ain't no-
we're at a football coach and speaking of keep it going, keep it going.
That's it, Coach Hannah. That's right.
Oh,
Keep it
really?
going. Keep it going. Love you dearly.
Love
I
y'all
love
both.
y'all too there.
Hello, family. My name is Pam, and I'm the daughter of Ida Mae. My mother loved playing bid whist, and it didn't even matter if our friends knew how to play or not, because those who didn't know, we would teach. Everyone knew that they were always welcome to eat when they came by, because Mom always had more than enough to eat. Once people met my mother, they fell in love with her because she was always someone who would listen. I look forward to seeing my mother again in perfect health and her youthful vigor. And that's based on the promise at Revelations 21:3-4. My mother is dearly missed by so many.
My name is Larry.
And I am Greg Bruton. Our mother is Pauthenia Bruton, but most people call her Peggy Bruton.
That's right.
Proud black woman from Plant City to Chicago and then to Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Well, in Chicago, we actually had a dry cleaner. We owned the dry cleaners, and we slept in the back of the dry cleaners. She would speak to anybody. She never had any fear about speaking to anybody. You know what I mean? She speak to anybody in the street. Greg and I we got that from her.
And what I remember most about our mother is that she was a very, very hard worker, worked two jobs most of the time.
Yep.
And a tremendous cook. Her grapefruit biscuits were known to be the best in the area. They were buttery and flaky and just tremendous. But obviously that's probably why I got to be so big, because I love eating her cooking. Yeah, she worked for the school system here in Fort Lauderdale. She moved up to be the head cook, and she used to pride herself on the fact that she was able to feed so many children who enjoyed the meals at the schools.
Something else Mama revealed to me a long time ago. Once upon a time, she worked for Mary McLeod Bethune. Mama used to have these little sayings that I lived by. She used to say, Larry, any job, big or small, do it well or not at all.
That's all right.
The very first family reunion we had, we stayed in families' homes. We didn't stay in a hotel.
That's right. We slept on the floor, whatever. We just all got together in different areas. I tell you, those of us who are still here and can remember that, it was one of the most joyous times I could ever reflect back on. It was just something always to look forward to. Our mother was always a fun-loving type person who enjoyed playing cards with her friends. She always used to drink. Her drink was Valentine ales. I'll never forget. And she smoked cool cigarettes.
Yep.
Menthol. I can say that because during those days, as kids, we were allowed to go to the store and purchase that stuff for our parents. During those days, if you ever thought about doing something like that, in terms of opening up a beer without and thinking that you can get away with it, everybody in the neighborhood knew everybody. So you went to the store, you picked up the stuff, and you brought it back home without even thinking about touching it.
Yep.
Enjoyed having a good time with her family, just sitting around playing records, dancing, eating, and just the house was always full of laughter. The sisters and the brothers all used to get together and they would play these penny poker and bid whist, I think is what they played all day and all night. What I remember most about our family, and when I say our family, I'm talking all of the Houston family. Anytime you were in an area, you went and you stayed at their house.
Yep.
we visited frequently. Plant City, Uncle Otto. I mean, Big Mama's and Big Daddy's house,
Yep.
Aunt Lou, Aunt Steen,
Yep.
and obviously that all, Kenny was always around, and Kemp. It was so much of a family love. Our mother was extremely proud of her family, her brothers and sisters, and her nephews and niece. She was always family oriented and took pride in, the things that her brothers and sisters were able to accomplish and their children, and always spoke about the desire to keep a close knit family unity going. Family is family.
Yes, Lord.
You never turn your back on family. So, and that's something that was instilled in us at a very early age.
Perfect.
We'll send you a bill this afternoon.
Oh, boy.
I heard that.
It's real, but it ain't free. Okay, it's real. Oh gosh.
Both for y'all.
Be
So.
sure you brush your teeth tonight, though, get G Money.
Oh boy.
Well, you just make sure you soak yours tonight, Larry.
I heard that.
Oh.
Use a clean jar. Use a clean jar this time.
Hey, I use baking soda in the water, bro.
Okay. Love y'all, man.
Okay,
Love
love
you.
y'all, man.
I'm Dr. Barbara Houston Wilson, and I'm the daughter of Reverend O.H. Houston, Otto Harrington Houston. Everybody calls him O.H. Houston. He was a strong man, very strong man, and he was a leader. And I guess the thing that I knew about him as my dad is that he had a strong faith in God, and he showed that faith. He was a member of Allen Chapel ME Church. He started out as a Sunday school teacher, and then he became the superintendent of Sunday school, and he finally became a minister. But by trade, he was a barber, and he became a master barber for many years, and that was his profession until he was called to minister. And he became a strong voice in the AME church. The other 10 brothers and sisters looked up to him for leadership, for guidance, for inspiration. So he was kind of the anchor of the family. Maybe not by choice, but somehow God selected him to do that. I think his favorite thing was telling jokes. He was a big jokester. He'd come up with a joke. I remember the time when such and such and such, and everybody would just fall out laughing. He had a good sense of humor. Any of the young men in the Houston family, if they needed to have counsel, I could see at every reunion that the young men of our family would go to Uncle Otto, Max, and all the young men. You could see them standing around him, and he's giving them counsel and leadership. It was beautiful to see. You heard the expression, but when E.F. Hutton, everybody listened. O.H. Houston spoke, everybody listened. And when we had our family reunions, when he got up to speak, everybody listened. So all I can say to you is that I miss him dearly, and we miss him. I miss him every day.
Okay, my name is Reverend Houston Brown, and I am the youngest of the siblings of Reverend Otto Harrington Houston Sr. He was a good chef. He liked oxtails, and he also liked pig feet. He used to like that. And he liked chicken. And he's tall just like our family. Tall like you. He loved to dance. He loved to dance. He liked to do that waltzing, WALTZ, in Daytona Beach, Florida. He was a community activist there. He did a lot with civil rights. He told me always be faithful to God, keep your eyes on God, and you have to keep your hands with God. He tells you to do. Daddy used to always say that his motto was this: we're all one for each other. But he always would say everything what we have is in our family. Say that we got to be able to communicate with each other, but you got to clean up the house first. He used to always say that. He said you got everything you need in the Houston family reunion. You got lawyers. We got HBCUs over there, scientists over there. We got business over there. We have English majors. We have everything we need over here now, from one generation to the next. He said that we need to be able to keep the history. We have new generations coming in, and we just all be able to get together and do what we have to do. I'm just thankful of everything and for the 50th reunion. So happy that we're able to celebrate and keep going together and do what we God's will. That's what we have to do. And put your boots on the ground. Dead. Stop.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to, at this time, talk about my uncle, Mr. Maxwell Houston, the oldest of the family. A good man. I met him as a young person. He was frequently over my house. We would watch the play cards. I'd go over his house and do work for him. He's very talented guy because he taught me about the gift of gab, what I learned being around him, how to talk to people, do business with people, and then have understanding with people. He was always close to the family, even though he was the oldest of the family. He was always hanging out for, he was close by. He didn't live far from us either. And he taught me a lot. Being around him was like, having like a extra parent to help me, guide me to understand life and grow into a better person. A good brother. He was married a few times, but didn't have any children of his own. But like I say, he was a good guy. People didn't know who he was. He's the top number one of the family, Maxwell Houston. And that's my guy from the Houston family.
Okay, this is Joyce, and I'm going to tell you a few things about Aunt Marie, which is Marie Hearns. She had no children, and so I was blessed to be one of them. And believe me, was it a joy. She gave me my first drink. We sat to the table and drank Jim Beam. She wanted me to know what to do if I ever go out and drink and how much I could handle. And she also taught me that strive and be the best you can. When I decided to go to radiology school, she stuck with me. She made sure I got there. She made sure that if I needed anything, she was there for me. And of course, the joy of staying there. I told her that I wanted to be a seamstress, so she went and got me a sewing machine. We bought patterns. I didn't even have any lessons. She said, now get to the table and read it. And I made her a beautiful suit, and she put it on. It was a sky blue suit, and she put it on. She was so happy. I said, hey, Marie, I might need to do some touching up on it. She said, it's beautiful. And I just appreciate her in my life. She taught me how to do things. Her mother would say, who taught you this? And Avery would say, do it my way. I go back home, Mama say, do it my way. But it was just a joy to have her in my life. Oh, and one little funny thing I want to tell you. So we lived in Robbins and we lived on 63rd Street. So there was a bus from Robbins to 63rd Street. I was still about 8 or 10 years old, and I wasn't afraid of anything. So I said, oh, there's nobody there with her. I'll go. So Mama would give me my instructions. And so Avery would call me and she'd say, now, I know how you like to talk to people. Now, it's a man when you're coming down 63rd Street, and he's a scary man. When you get to that viaduct, you run like crazy. And I said, well, how does he look? She said, well, they done shot his nose off and he ain't got nothing but 2 dots there. And I said, well, I want to see this man. She said, nah, I told you, don't stop and talk to anybody. And when I got to that viaduct by Del Rey Farm, I'll never forget. I was looking all over for that man, and the man wasn't there. So when I got there, she said, "What took you so long?" And I said, "Well, I was looking for that man you told me not to look for." But she said, "Now, I'm going to tell you this for the last time. Follow my instructions." And from that day on, when people give you instructions, stick to the instructions. And that's what I love about her. She took time with me and took me through experiments that I never probably would have done. So I appreciate the time she spent with us, and I just love her and miss her also.
Hi, this is Elaine Houston Boyd, and I want to share a few memories of my dad. Ralph Houston loved a good story, usually with a joke at the end. Loved butter pecan ice cream, making biscuits from scratch, although he usually left a very messy kitchen afterwards. He loved a good competitive bridge game or bid whist with some kind of brown liquor on the side. He was a devoted Tuskegee alumni and member of Phi Beta Sigma, and he idolized his big brother Otto, the presiding elder, and loved his little sister Eunice in a special way.
I'm Joyce, the daughter of Eunice Phillips, the youngest of the 11. My sister Patricia was the oldest, Beverly, Joyce, myself, John, and Bernard. I just want to tell you a few things about the sweetest woman in the world that I know. I love her and miss her dearly. Just a few little things that she loved God truly. Every morning up praying. I just love to see her love towards God. And then her family. She loved her siblings. And she loved her children, her husband. And she showed it every day. And she was committed to the community. Even people on the street, she was the first brownie leader in the area. And, oh my God, did she have a heart for other people. Inviting people in. And I'm wondering, where are these people going to sleep? Oh, but she was just, and the activity that she loved doing with her family and look forward for the reunion and even at home. I can remember them all sitting to the table playing poker, bid whist, Uncle Mac, Uncle Bob, Aunt Marie, my dad, my mom playing cards until the wee next day. I tell you, they just had activities together that you would never believe.
Hello, friends and family. My name is John. I'm the son of Eunice, who was the loving, caring, and sharing woman of God that I remember. We had so many memories of family that enjoyed playing cards just about every day, and that was the way we communicated. We enjoyed it tremendously, My mother was an exceptional woman. Even though she was going through some things, she still cared and was wanting to do for people to help them in any way that she possibly could. And I love that spirit about her. She instilled a lot of values inside of me that I will forever cherish.
Blessings to all. I'm Beverly Phillips, the daughter of Eunice Phillips. I'd like to share a few memories that I have of my mother. One thing, she used to love her family. She used to always try to have us get together and never be apart. And that's a memory that I will never forget, how she taught us to really love each other. Also, there's some funny memories. My mother tried to give me some lamb. She had fried it like she did chicken and smothered it. And she tried to really get me to eat it. And I kept saying, "Mama, what is this?" And then she finally said, "This is lamb." I didn't eat it, but I know everybody else eats it. Thank you. Blessings to all. Love you.
Hello there, everyone. I'm Bernard Phillips. My mother was Eunice Phillips, the baby of the Houston family. I'm the baby of my family. Mother was a very strong woman and taught me a lot. She dealt with a lot of physical issues to her life, but that didn't stop her from being, her mind never stopped and the love and the heart never stopped. So she was always able to show love and always guided me when I needed guidance, and even all the time I needed guidance to keep me on the straight and narrow, and just teach me about life and love and my faith also. She had a great faith. She was involved in the church, would help me get in my church the same way at the same church. And like I say, she was always there for me and helped me in many ways. And I will truly miss her the rest of my life, and knowing she taught me everything to also go forward and be the best human being I can possibly be. So remembrance her and the rest of the family. Peace and blessings all, and love to my mom. Peace.
This is Anne, the daughter of Robert Houston.
I will always remember my dad, Robert Houston, for his kindness, humor, wisdom, and his love for big, flashy cars.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bernard Phillips again. Now, this time I'd like to take time out to speak about Robert Houston, but I believe he was the second born of the family. And Mr. Robert Houston, I met him because everybody stayed in Chicago. He stayed with Aunt Marie. And he would I didn't learn till later on that he had been married and had children. I knew his one daughter, Ann. I met her on several occasions because she lived on the north side. So me being a lover of sports, and he was also a lover of sports, he was like, we talk about the baseball, the football, the basketball. He took me to my first professional basketball game, my first baseball game. Maybe not the first baseball game, but definitely the first basketball. But he also showed me how to get autographs. I was very shy, and when we was at the baseball game, he got me some autographs from the players and the NBA at the Bulls game. So, very quiet guy. Not a lot people don't know about him. A very cool guy. He always we would talk about stuff in Chicago. He worked on the north side, and always was inquisitive about. He said he worked not far from where the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And he was trying to we never did get to go. They tore it down later on. But like I say, I was the best man. He got remarried again in the 90s. I guess it was second wife, and I was his best man and his driver. And until he died, we was always very close, a very cool guy. Not a lot. He had particular ways, because when I stayed with him at a reunion when I was a little younger, and it was like, you stay in his room, you better be in there by 10. Because if you don't get there by 10, you ain't getting up in there. So, but he had a family. He had other children besides his daughter, Ann, and I didn't know them that well. They was in Georgia, where he was living at before he came to Chicago. But a good guy, cool guy, and I always remember him as well as my other family. So blessings to my Uncle Bob. Peace.
Hey, family, this is Myron Knighton. And my mother is Louvenia Knighton, and she is one of the matriarchs of the family that helped initiate our family reunion and get it rolling.
Mom was a connoisseur of good food. She could really cook and was very finicky about her food. I remember a time when a family member dropped by with a plate of food for Mom. Mom was always gracious and wanted people to feel good. So she created an aura to the person that she would dig into that plate later. After the person left, she asked me to dump the plate, as she would not be partaking and tasting it. Now, when Emma Jean or Norma Jean came by to see her with the plate, we're talking about a totally different story. Mom and Dad built and owned and managed a cafe in Plant City for many, many years called the Moonlight Grill, so she was very good at food. Mom received her bachelor's and master's degree from Florida A&M University and worked in the education field for over 40 years. She was a member of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Now, she did love cards. She was an avid card player of many types of card games and was known to check out a casino every now and then. Now, if her and Aunt Ernestine were partners in a card game, game over. They actually had different signals, scratching the eyes, rubbing the nose, pulling the left earlobe. It was fun to see them play as partners because they had some tricks. She really loved every member of the family, and she expected everyone to treat people the way they would want to be treated. She was very involved with her church, Allen Chapel AME Church. In wrapping up this brief highlight, I think Mom is very happy at the progress we have made. 5 decades, 50 years. Not many families can compare.